Why dating sites doesn't work? Well, the answer is easy. Because people are idiots. You know, the idiot is the word which you will use more and more in 2025. Because first time in history, the idiots getting to the power, for last 10,000 years, you know. Anyway, let's get to the point. I feel like in this movie called Idiocracy when the unfrozen person with IQ 120 and he was like genius. So why do you think the Tinder doesn't work? I mean, for some idiots who still believe it works, if you go to Canada, US, you see for last 2, 3 years it collapsed. These European idiots, I mean, European continent, it will take them another 2 years to realize that Facebook is dead, Instagram is dead, TikTok will be soon dead, YouTube is totally dead. Every idiot knows this. Tinder, Bumble, all that crap, doesn't work. Why? Most important, why? If you are not an idiot and you have IQ 100, you know why. If you are no software demented engineer and you have some emotional intelligence, you know that these dating sites are, we would divide it, the process, how to try to, make people to meet or, acquaintance with each other into two phases. The first phase or first stage is that the logarithms start to look for the people in your area. So far, this is a technical progress and not the technical development. So it means it's not non-productive, it's not counterproductive, but it's productive thing. You see, not like a smartphones with a fucking lasting battery, which is a technical progress, which is technical development compared to phones for 1990s mobile phones, which have a solid battery and they last. So they were technical progress, but the smartphones are technical development. Just like the landlines were technical progress compared to fucking letters sent by fucking pigeons. But in medias, let's to the point. The first part of the dating site, for example, Tinder, Bumble, or Badu, or whatever, or Hinge, is a technical progress and it's a good thing. You have some, some geopolitical, service and um, some, let's say you put the filters 30 kilometers, and then this GPS will search, if you put it updated, people who are, if you can believe it, last week for in area 30 kilometers on this page. Then you match with them. So far so good. But then here comes the second part, second stage. Once you met, the communication. And the communication is not productive, it's not non-productive, it's counterproductive. Because here we see technical development but not technical progress. If you have emotional intelligence, or if these software idiots who come out with this, applications would talk to some psychologist or linguist, they would figure out that 90% of the communication is non-verbal. You see, so 90% of vital communication without extra linguistic figures like tone of the voice, which you can hear, or expression of my face, or the way how I am the gesturing with my hands or with the whole body, like pantomimic. 90% of communication without these extra linguistic figures is filtered out. So in a moment, like explain to the stupid child, but you have to explain to a lot of idiots on Tinder, I'm a man, so I'm talking to women, a lot of adult women, age of 40, idiots. You have to explain them, I want to video call with you. I want you, and then for some reason, I will get into it. For some reason, the video call usually doesn't work. And in Tinder, there is no voice call option, or there is no voice message. So you explain to this idiotic woman, I want to go on WhatsApp with you, or I want to meet you right away on the corner. I don't want to communicate with you. I don't want to chat with you. I want to just meet you. I want a video call with you to see who you are. Because if you're doing more self code, hi, how are you? I'm fine. How about you? Who are you looking for? I don't know who is this person. I don't know if it's a 1 meter, 40 centimeter tall, fucking black like my shoes. I'm sorry, so racistic person from Nigeria talking to some lady in Germany, white like a butter. I don't know if it's a scammer, if it's an artificial robot, if it's a deviant, sick fuck, introvert, hanger, imbecile who likes autistic idiot who likes to just text and have a online relationship and stupidity. Every imbecile knows that the form of the communication is bad. Every idiot knows this. That's why this application doesn't work, because they just keep you texting, paying subscription, and you never ever fucking make it to the stage number 3 after matching, communication, free to meet in offline world. Congratulations. Now you know why the dating pages doesn't work. Now you can assume if people in the industry are half retarded or full retarded. If they full retarded, all these applications like Bumble, Badoo, whatever, Tinder, are created by software idiotic engineers who match people, it works, but because of the communication, they never happen to make them, to pursue them to meet. Or they really know this, they're not stupid, and they have some kind of a cartel. I don't think so Mr. Badu call Mr. Tinder, and Mr. Tinder will call to Mr. Bumble and say, hey, don't put the voicemails, don't put the video calls, just make them, they put some voice calls, but they make them, chat, so we want them to subscribe and never meet. I don't think so they specifically shape this cartel or organize it, because it's a cartel deal. But I assume, just like if you have an apartment like me, you don't rent it in downtown of Malaga under 1,000 euro. You don't need to tell your neighbor who renting your apartment, don't rent it for 600. Keep the price, más o menos, more or less around 1,000. So I assume this is some kind of a cartel, agreement, and actually the commodity is idiocy of people, which is incredible. For the last 40 years, when the CIA put the internet on the market and demonetized people who believe, which is typical for idiots, they are getting smarter and smarter, because idiot is a powerful psychological weapon, and he never knows he's an idiot. For the last 40 years, the decline of the IQ was tremendous. 400 years before Christ, the old Greeks, they got an average IQ 130 to 140. They could memorize the whole Iliad. Now, if you ask people, they even don't know what is Iliad. They got an IQ 80. They don't activate some certain parts of their brain. They just typing. They take a connotate of the car, and they do like, a car! The children is 3 years old. Car! C-R! And the fucking iPad, suck up from the Google the car and suck and throw the fucking connotate in the brain of the fucking retarded toddler. Car! But before, when you have a car, when you were reading the printed solid paper book, you were reading CAR, and you have to invent the that's called a connotate or denotate of the car in your brain. Because car in Brazil, when you read it car, or in Spain, coche in let's say in Colombia, was different than car in England or car in North America, or auto in Czech Republic. So we have to create different kinds through our fantasy. We activated different kinds of the brain, imagination, and we have to code and decode. Same when you were writing with your hand. You were writing car, CR, you were coding, decoding, you used the sensomotor intelligence. You were using your denotation, connotation, a lot of mental sophisticated operation. Now you just do CR, so you become autistic idiot on a Ritalin, and the rest is the, history. You see that the world getting demonetized digitally for last 40 years. That's the biggest decline since 10,000 years before Christ, when people were getting into some kind of settlements like villages, first towns. 10,000 years before Christ, there is a beginning of of civilization. If we don't talk about ultimately 3.5 million years before Christ, Homo habilis. So I think we're going back from Homo sapiens sapiens back to Homo sapiens by digitally demented, because the internet is, we have basically two periods of time, right? 3.5 million years before Christ until 1980s after Christ, offline times, when idiots don't get to the power, only allied with evilish people. Evilish people use the idiots in order to manipulate them into the power and use them, and the ally of evilish and idiots is well known. But now is the first time in history, in different times, online times, 1980s after Christ until 2024, 25, last 40 years, whatever, last 45 years, you have online times compared to millions of years of offline times when idiots get into the power. Prime ministers of European Union, European Union countries, Joe Biden. You never seen idiotic emperor. You see evilish emperor who use idiots to get into the power. But even the most stupid emperors in old Rome were not crystallic idiots. That's the tragedy of our civilization. And the technology, it's as simple as it is. The technology is behind the decline of the humanitary, of the mankind and human spirit. Period. That's it. You see. So now I told you why dating site doesn't exist. I'm a optimist, and I hope they're doing it on purpose, because if people are such idiots that they cannot compose the normal working dating sites, we are really in trouble. So second part of the video is answer how to create the dating site which works. Well, it's easy. You take something like a Tinder, for example. Hinge, if I'm not wrong, is the most smartest one and most successful, as I learned, because Hinge offer you to have a sample of your voice for 30 minutes attached to your profile, or even the video. Bumble is more successful, try guess, because there is voicemail compared to Tinder. The one with the voicemail communication, but it's only option. So you want to know how to make $1 billion? I'm telling you, it's easy like fuck. You see, it's easy like fuck. We overestimate people. It's easy as that. You create, you have a vision of genius. The first genius take a take taxi and restaurant, put it together. Genius works in very simple tunnel vision. He make very simple to good true solution. It's not complicated. First, you take the first part of the dating site which exists. You make a GPS, you match people together, and then we give them only two allowed forms of communication: audio and video. That's it. You allow them, let's say, call each other for 3 minutes, audio call, or 2 minutes video call, or send 3 voicemail messages, each one longest only 2 minutes, or 1 video message, longest 2 minutes. 3 audio calls, 1 video call, 3 audio messages, 1 video message. And after 24 hours, if these people don't use the scale of these options of communication, they don't need to use all of them, just 1 video, whatever, one audio. If they don't if they don't decide, or they don't use this communication, or they use it but they don't react, which means they don't say they will meet each other, the system will disconnect them and dismatch them. You've been matched, congratulations. You're on this page because you want to meet somebody. You don't want other person to waste his time. You don't want to be player, online idiot, or maybe you won't, right? But you don't want to text the other day, look, if the person answered, then you don't know if it's a robot, if it's a filter. Don't you forget, even though you calling video, there are a lot of filters now, artificial intelligence. So you really don't know who is the person until you meet him. So to the second stage, you have to push it, you have to change it. First one is okay, GPS, match people together. Second one, you have 24 hours. Video call me, audio message me. So I can know from the communication, which not filtering 90% of vital features from the communication. So use the form of communication, video and audio, which will really get me information and knowledge about who you are and if I can make decision to meet you, or get the fuck out of here and don't waste my time, simply says. Excuse my French. So free audio calls, one video call, or free audio messages, one video. You use this scale of communication or you don't use it, mismatched. If you decided to meet within 24 hours and you use all this sufficient communication, it must be limited because we don't want people to video and audio call. On the other hand, even though they know each other, to stay in the long online communication, which is happening in Canada. Like people change their numbers to WhatsApp and then they never meet. They just talk, video call, audio call, but they never meet. We don't want this. This page wants you to just give you maximum tools, communication, which is only video and audio, how to know and get maximum information from you in order to know if you want to meet your partner in offline world or not. We want to speed up the process. So after 4 audio calls, 3 audio calls, 1 video, you are sure if this person is who he is for 95%, and you take a risk, you go meet her or him, you say, this person was not for me, or he was. You come back, you match with another partner in 24 hours. So 99% of scammers, players, audio, online hesitant tapers, obsessive, pen pallers, idiots, insecure women, insecure men, introverts, people who hiding something, their face or voice or they pretend that they're somebody else. All this garbage is filtered out, and you have a dating site with people who, of course, the dating site will not be for everybody, but you sure when you go there, you got a fucking chance to meet somebody, or he will not waste your time. That's the most important thing. You see, so when I'm looking around the world of dating, online, I think that either mankind is extremely stupid, extreme, because don't tell me that nobody knows this, that 90% of the communication is non-verbal, period. Nobody knows this. This is not communication, it's non-productive, counterproductive communication. Nobody fucking know when you give a kid's iPad, their brain get fucking fucked up instead of you give them book or you give them pen and if you make them talk face to face. I mean, this civilization is incredibly stupid. And I believe there are a lot of intelligent people like you and me, normal people, but we are not politicians. We are not people who control this civilization, because this civilization is first time in history controlled by idiots. Because this would never happen in all Greece. It would never happen in Mesopotamia, Etrusc. In any kind of civil Middle Age, it would never happen. Such a stupid idiocy. Like you invent the wheel and then after 100 years you invent the wheel, you start to shape the wheel in shape of fucking rectangular. I mean, you step back like an idiot. That the writing, Gutenberg, paper, everything, writing is the best for your brain, is the best optional technical progress, communication. Just like your mobile phone 1995 was the best, because it was better than landline, but it was better than the fucking smartphone where in 1 hour, if you don't have a power bank, what is reminding you this shit if you put it in the power bank? Well, it reminds you a landline, right? Yeah, so we're catching our tail, I mean, we are in circles, right? Obviously, phone from 995 was better than landline and better than the smartphone. If the smartphone in 2 hours, you wasted battery, you cannot get your cards, banking, nothing, is dead. With the small phone, which you cannot buy now without smart fucking screen, I can call, I can block my credit card, I can do transfer, I can do everything. I don't need this stupid banking application. With this difference that some fucking fascistic, technocratic, sociopathic billionaires forcing us living in this post-tech feudalism, and they want you to access your banking only through your smartphones. I guess why? Not through your call or through your PC. Because they want to make you dependent on that shit. This shit suck up the maps, this shit suck up calculator, banking, credit cards, talking, notepads, writing notes, pads. It suck up everything, and it's based on the battery which doesn't work. Think it over how stupid it is. You don't need this stupid thing which I'm talking to now. That's a technical development. It's not a technical progress. It's not productive. It's non-productive. Smartphones are non-productive or even counterproductive. Every idiot knows this. Every idiot knows the difference between technical progress development. Yet, this civilization becoming technically developed but not technically progressed. You see? So you want to make a good dating site? Just video and voice call, imbecile. Easy like that. When somebody want to chat with you 5 weeks, I feel more secure. No, it's not more secure. Because if you're chatting, you can be anybody. And if you have no courage or balls to talk to somebody face to face or even share the tone of voice with him, how the fuck you can face him to meet him in real life? So fuck away, be a little child, and go on some fucking online dating site where it's not sure if you really met and you can date million years and I can assure you 1,000 pages of written chat is not worth of 1 minute of one sentence. One picture is worth of 1,000 words. Everybody knows this code. Think it over. The photos before. This is a schizophrenia. That's what there is duplicity, triplicity of communication, WhatsApp. There is no good communication. Good communication was through landline and mobile phones, period. There is some certain limit when technology is progressive before it turns back 3 steps, ahead and 4 steps back to the development. So I told you why the dating site doesn't work, and I told you how to create the dating site which will work. You think somebody will do it? No. You wanna know other fucking thing from the history, the proof why people are so stupid? Well, it's easy. In 1979, we made it to the fucking moon. Is that correct? Like a fucking motherfucking cosmonauts in 1969, sorry. And 20 years later, or maybe 30 years, 79, 89, you still have a fucking suitcase without a fucking wheel. You see? You are dragging the suitcases like an idiot. 30 years after we made it to the moon, you see? You were dragging your suitcase by your hands, and in 90s, some idiot come out with idea, put the wheels, attach it to the suitcase. Think it over. The same thing is dating sites. We already have a dating agencies which work. And some idiot, now need to attach the wheels to the suitcase and make normal suitcase, because this Tinders, it's like dragging the suitcase. You see? It's dragging the suitcase without wheels. It's stupid. You see? It's like people in 16th, 17th century, noble people believe that when they sniffing, they may smelling the excrements. It has anti-inflammatory, effects. So when there was a plague epidemic, the countess or the duke or princesses to their housemates and servants, please bring me, in the bowl of my excrements, piss and shit. They sniff it every day 30 minutes because they have news that the plague is coming to their town, and then they thought that they ate some penicillin. This is like dating sites. Now, if you're trying to through the Tinder to meet somebody, or you're trying to do online banking through your fucking phone, right? Or using the smartphone, it's like you sniffing the shits and piss in order to not to get a plague. You wanna meet, you sniffing piss and shits. That's how you use Tinder to meet. Then comes the fucking Fleming with the garbage in Petri's nest, and then, by default, by chance, he created the penicillin. Penicillin are dating agencies. Offline one which works, like you go there, you ring, they write down all your psychological profile and they call you when they match you with some other person. You see, the mobile phone and landline is a penicillin. Smartphone is sniffing the shits. You see, sniffing the shits and piss. That's as easy it is. We live in incredible, this is defile and exhibition and soft parade of crystallic professional idiocy in Western Europe and in North America. This is an incredible idiocy where we don't use the technology in order to progress our society, but just develop it in blind roads where some sociopathic billionaire throw on the fucking market. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or not. Some fucking gadgets which doesn't work and every idiot using it. Instead of fucking perfectionize it. Why don't you perfectionize the fucking Tinder? I told you how to do it now. You think you're gonna do it? Do you think somebody will do it? No. They just create technical development up and apps and apps and apps. Internet is like a smoking. Now we're getting in 90s, 70s, 80s, when there are first 50s, 60s, there are first cases of cancer. Thinking over 20, 30 years, if people are not so demented, they will realize that the online world is a bullshit. It's so toxic. Everyday life, the internet brings you more negative things than positive. Think it over. It's a blind road. It's all one big technical development. It has nothing to do with technical progress. And these little subcategories like social networks, which fucking up your brain, you know. Okay, it can fuck up some regimes and you can get some great information, but there is still more. Suicides, homicides, cyberbully, addiction, getting fat, getting heart attacks, looking at that shit, getting depression. It's counterproductive. Social networks are counterproductive. Smartphones are counterproductive. Internet is counterproductive. Dating sites are counterproductive. They bring more evil than good. Period. Or prove me wrong and create the dating site which fucking works, right? Or let me access to my banking through PC and normal phone in case I lose the battery. Or don't fucking sell me smartphone until you give me fucking lithium battery which lasts fucking forever. Easy as fuck. You think somebody, hey, hello, why the fuck we so smart? Why we cannot make dating site which works? Why we cannot fucking make a phone which fucking works? Why we cannot use the technology not to cyberbully and kill our fucking kids and fucking make them, you know, addicted and wasted their dopamine, decreasing their sexual needs, dying, not having kids? Why the fuck we killing each other with technology if we so smart? Maybe it's not the technology. Maybe we making out of the technology technical development one on the progress because we are idiots as a human race. And I would say we are, right? So we just come with something and it should not be in our hands, you see? Because we are idiots. Prove me wrong and show me dating sites which work. Dating sites are not bad thing. The people who inventing idiotic dating sites are idiots. The people making the technology development and not the progress. It's not the technology itself is not bad thing. It's the stupidity of the people, you know. The stupidity of if there are laws, if you can use the internet only certain time or whatever. Like in China, they're not stupid. They let TikTok use you only until age of 21 for educational fucking reasons. Think. Don't be an idiot. And try to avoid idiots in 2025, which will be very hard because 2025 is the last year when 2024 was the last year when the rationality, you know, controls the emotions, you know, gray cells and the fucking brain. You see, now we're becoming animals. 2025, there is no ratio. There are just emotions. It was the last year when you can control emotions by a ratio, and on the end you made your decision based on ratio. Now 2025 we become a total animals.